And that's Anakin the dog back there. We have a guest speaker today.
Now, what do you think about those colors on Thrust and Skywarp, especially?
That is not Thrust. That is not Skywarp.
Here's her ripping apart Junkions and putting apart on their body parts, which is totally up my alley.
Surprisingly, this is probably one of the best looking RCs.
Yeah, I'll have to leave you sitting in the Legends area by yourself, unfortunately.
No, you're going to get there as well. Hey, what's going on, BVC fans? I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And that's Anakin the dog back there. We have a guest speaker today. So let's jump into the news.
Let's do it. So, as always, let's talk about what has been just announced. So, the first thing, which we don't have any pictures yet, is Hasbro and Mattel have joined forces for a cross-brand licensing deal. So, what they've talked about so far is one, a Barbie monopoly. So, I know that probably it would be very interesting to your daughter. But they also have a Transformers Uno, which is what I'm most excited about. That sounds really cool. And they also have a Transformers Hot Wheels. Now, if that's a crossover where that actually transforms with some legacy Hot Wheels character, I'd be very interested in. But part of me thinks it's just going to be Optimus Prime in the Hot Wheels scale or whatever characters they do, which would not make me buy it. So what do you think about this licensing deal between these two toy giants?
I like it. I wish they did more things like this. I mean, we're starting to see it in studio with movies like Spider-Man being in Marvel movies and things. So I think it's great for the fans more so than anything. I would love to have some, potential Hot Wheel cars in Transformer Deco and things. That would be kind of cool. I am in on the Uno as well. My daughter's too young, I think, to play Monopoly right now, so I think I'll catch it on the later end if she's a Monopoly person. So I'm in for it. I really like it. I think it's really, really good again for us fans.
Yes, I agree. So let's move on to something that has been haunting you for a while in these news. I don't know why these keep coming out, but it's more model kits. So this is the Bumblebee Optimus Prime model kit by Trumpeter. So Trumpeter is actually a really big plastic modeling company, and they're going to be coming pre-painted supposedly, which is something I've never heard about, but is really cool to somebody like me who would not paint their Gundams with that they built. So this actually seems pretty cool to me. They will also be doing Starscream, Thrust, and Skywarp. Now, what do you think about those colors on Thrust and Skywarp, especially?
That is not Thrust. That is not Skywarp.
The only thing I could think of is that they based it off of Armada Thrust, but the
definitely.
colors still are not right. And that Skywarp, it's not Skywarp, like you said.
It's not Skywarp. Call it something else. It's not Skywarp. The colors aren't dark enough, and I don't see any black. And yeah, that is definitely Armada Thrust. So
or Acid. Why didn't they just call him Acid Storm or
there we
whatever?
Go.
Like that would have been. Everybody would have been happy.
There we go. Yes.
So
I think it's a cool idea. I used to love model kits and love putting things together like that. I don't know if I have the time to do it now. I think the cost of these would probably be better than that subscription service that we talked about.
So usually Trumpeter kits are anywhere between $40 to $50 for big kits. So that's probably around the price, unless the paint, since they're pre-painted, if that might just balloon the price. I don't know. But yeah, so like you said, I think these would be cool. If I was to see, that Skywarp, because I can make it another character, and it was cheap in like a Hobby Lobby, honestly, I might pick it up just to have fun building it. Not to display, but to have fun with the actual construction portion of it.
Like anything, I really don't need to collect anything else new. It becomes a problem. And I could see if I got one, then I'll be looking at 2, then I'll be looking at 3 and 12 and 30. And Yeah,
And they never be let out of their box like the legacy figures you have.
and I just put up new shelves and literally put the boxes on shelves. I'm sitting here looking at them, and yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. Well, now that we know you won't be getting any of these model kits, you might get this next thing, which is the Taiga Toys YH01. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, but it's an amphibious assault ship. So, what do you think about this, Bobby?
Sold. I I love it. It looks very robotic. You know, it captures that for one. I really, really like it. And you like it too, Anakin? Um, I love the way it looks. I love I saw a couple of photos with some of the like fans. You can actually see in on the inner leg by the knee. They're actually look like rotating fans, and I just love the detail that they put into this figure. The sculpting looks amazing. I'm all in for it.
I'm not all in, but I do like this a lot better than the other Battleship line. It really reminds me of that Lockdown by Unique Toys, like how it transforms. It looks very complicated. Here is the alt mode, which I know you really like. It looks a little chonky, but that's okay. But it looks really good. And depending on the price, I might have another Battleship in my collection, even if it doesn't combine, because I'm completely out on those. But this might make its way in there, depending on what it comes with. If it's just a figure and no weapons, I'm completely out. But so time will tell.
Well, those are the weapons right that are right underneath it, balancing it as the stand.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
he
didn't
has.
see a picture with
Yeah,
those.
he has axes, and so they form the base of it, which I thought was really cool as well. The funny thing is, which I'm also interested in, is that this is the same battleship that Toy Easy made.
Oh,
So
really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
so it's the second. Yeah, so I'm curious of how the transformation is compared to that one. But yeah, that's the part that's, you know, it's like deja vu. So I'll basically have two of the same ships, but this allows me to keep. Well, the Toy Easy one's going to be in combined mode. So
Yeah. Now that I know it has axes, that might sway me
yeah,
because I'm a sucker for a barbarian.
yeah.
So so let's move on, and this might look familiar to you guys. This is the Masterpiece Trailbreaker, but this is the fourth party version. So it's a KO. So if you don't have one, you might be looking to pick it up. I believe it's about $60. Not bad. Here it is in robot mode with the alternate head, and I really like that alternate head. Now I don't have the normal Masterpiece. Does it come with that head, or is that just for this?
It does. It does.
It does. Okay. So I've warmed up to this figure, to be quite honest with you, but I still don't like it from the waist down, and I'm not going to be picking all the Trailbreakers. It doesn't matter what company besides Fans Toys has not made from the waist down anything that I like. So I will be skipping this. But if they repaint it as something funky, you know me, I'm the guy who repaints. If they repaint it as that blue or yellow one for $60, I would probably pick that up.
Good luck on that happening, but
It's not.
yeah. I have the official. I'm happy with it. That pose that they have him in right there, it does make his legs look super duper skinny, and his chest really, I mean, like Homer Simpson ish, you know. So, so, but I do like the figure. I have all three versions: XTB or X Transbots, mainline, and Fans Toys, and I have a hard time deciding which one I like better. Just to be honest, they all do things good, and they all have their flaws, but it's definitely worth it for $60, I think.
Well, we'll see what the quality's like, and yeah, so, and then we'll revisit them. So let's move on to some updates. Now, this first thing is actually something I'm very excited about, which I would not think I would be saying, and that is what's her name, Axle Grease from Hasbro. This thing was like made for me, so I am very excited to get her. Um, it just looks cool. So I don't have anything else to say. We've already talked about her to death. Here's her ripping apart Junkions and putting apart on their body parts, which is totally up my alley. And here's her boosting away, which is really cool that they can actually do that. Like they actually thought to put the parts for the blast effects on her rear end so she could go ahead and blast away into the multiverse. So, will you be getting this?
These pictures make it look a lot better. I knew from the beginning when they first announced it that you were going to be in for this. I picked up the other Junkion and I didn't really like him that much in hand. This one is making me think about picking it up. I think initially I was all in for it. I am on the fence. I do like the colors. I do like the car mode. I do like the femme bot. I just didn't really care for the figure itself. So I don't know yet.
Well, we'll see. I have nothing bad to say about that. What's it called? The what was his name? Scraphook. I always want to call him Scrapbook. I liked him from when I got him. I had a QC issue on mine, but other than that, I did like it. So let's move on to something that you are going to buy. We already know about it, and that's the 3.0 RC.
Surprisingly, this is probably one of the best looking RCs.
It is. It looks really good. And the fact that it could get into that pose, that's why I picked that particular image. There's a lot of images out there. I would recommend looking it up. But that one pose with the arms crossed, not a lot of figures can do that. I mean, I know it doesn't transform, but that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, that I think that's key is that since it doesn't transform, it better have some capabilities that transforming figures, don't have. I think this is probably one of the better looking RCs. I will not be picking this up since it does not transform. But I saw
Would you pick it up if it transformed?
Probably, depending on what it transformed into. If it transformed into what I know RC to transform into, which is a convertible car, yes. If it transformed into a bike, probably not.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I probably would though, because it does look good.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it for me.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something I actually think you might get, which is the Fans Hobby Overload. So here we got some new pictures with it, with the original Naval Commander. So this does look pretty cool. Here it is in base mode with the one you got, and this base mode integrates flawlessly because of the red colors. It looks really nice together. And then the part that makes me the happiest is the Minicon. Now, this thing just looks so cute. I love him. Like you said, Homer Simpson, it looks like Homer Simpson. And here it is with his little friends, which make me want to get all of them, but only for the Minicons. I don't really want the big bots because of the butt kibble. So now, Bobby, the question everybody is waiting to hear. Are you going to be getting this to go with your Naval Commander?
I'm still on the fence. I'm lean and granted, these are not, this is without paint, I believe, on these figures.
Yes, it is. Now it does look, if I go back a few, it looks like there is some paint on the backpack in the the treads and whatnot.
Yes. I think
it does look like it's slightly painted, but not like the final product.
Right. It looks really good on the version of Prime I got. Those colors look really, really good together. If I had yes, that one. If I had the original Prime, I definitely wouldn't get it. It doesn't look good to me with the original Prime. But this one, I'm on the fence. I have to see what the final price is and go from there. I think I would be setting myself up for trouble if I did get it, because then I think then I'd be possibly looking at getting the Jetfire as well, and I don't want to do that so far. So again, still on the fence, but we'll see.
Yep, I will wait for the Magnus repaint as always. So now what's next is we have quite a few images of the Figure King number 303. I guess it's the Beast Wars special, so I left out all of the lore and stuff that they have for Beast Wars, and we're just looking at the figures. So we're going to go through them pretty quick because we've already talked about them and it's not much there. So here are these. Now, my favorite out of this bunch is Leg Warmer's Cheetor. I actually saw somebody did a repaint of it in the traditional Beast Wars Cheetor colors, and it looked really good. So this figure looks bad just because of the color scheme, I think.
I think mine would be the Air Razor.
The Air Razor looks nice too. I like how the wings turn into the legs. It really reminds me of Energon Dipone.
I like that pose of her flying. That looks really good.
It does. So here we have more of the same. We've got those Target Masters that I think they're calling Weaponizers, as well as the Armor People. So the Scorponok looks really good. That's the only one that I'm probably going to get on this whole page.
Yeah, I think I'll be turning the page.
Well, speaking of turning the page, here we go. So we got some Legacy as well as some Studio Series. I think the Dinobot is a Studio Series, if I'm not mistaken. So this is just a grab bag of a page. There's everything you could think of. So here's all this. We've already talked about it before. You can watch our previous videos if you have any questions on that. Anything you want to touch on here?
Not really. There's a couple that, I have that twin cast and I will be getting that Dinobot. But that's pretty much it, I think.
The only ones that I'll be getting would be the Legends figures, which I already have, and the other Junkion, which I forgot his name.
I forgot him.
He's tiny, though, which we should do an episode about shrinking Transformers. So. And then here's the last. There's a lot of in-between pages, but here's the last ones. I cropped Raiden for us to see. So good on you people that want that Raiden. I think it looks okay. But, it is what it is. And then we have the statues of the girl Optimus Prime and Megatron and Bumblebee.
So I have the Moon Studio Radiotron, and I'm looking at this. I actually saw a couple of the trains on sale, and I thought about picking them up, honestly.
Oh.
I thought about it.
I wouldn't even. Here he goes, buying the MP train box.
But the left foot looks humongous. It looks like my daughter wearing my shoes. It looks like he has a big foot.
What kills me is all of that kibble off of the ankles. So they look like houses on his ankles. I don't know why they would do that. I'm not trying to play favorites, but I do think Moon Studios did a much better job with making them look like the actual guns, like the anime. But if you guys are picking this up, let us know why. You picking this one over the Moon Studios one, and how you like the Trainbot so far.
Yeah, I definitely the alt modes look amazing. But I'm very curious on everybody else's feelings on them.
Yes, I would too. These, I'm not trying to be too negative, but they look like chug figures.
That's the part that got me, and the initial price that they came out at, and then they reduced the price so much. It was just like, wow, this is not in scale from what I'm used to. But like I said, those alt modes look amazing, and those human figures are really kind of cool. They look really good. I like them. I surprisingly like the Bumblebee and the Megatron. And I know we saw them in LA at TFCon. They had the little booth set up, and if you followed them, they gave you a little collector's card with the figures, which I thought was really cool as well.
Yeah, no, I think they're really cool as well. And I'm not going to lie, if that Megatron was articulated and not a statue, I might pick it up for just I have a villain shelf with like DC and Marvel characters, and I'd put that right with them. I think it looks really cool. Or with my G.I. Joes, because I think that would look really cool with G.I. Joes as well. So yeah. I wish it was, but oh well. We'll just have to wait till the next one.
Exactly.
So let's look at what is incoming. And the first thing is a derivative of what we both have, and that's the mini huge rhino, which sounds really funny. But it's mini Rhyme Mini, I guess is what they're calling him. This is the Legends Headstrong from King Toys. And I chose this picture with the sword because I think that sword with the saw blade is so cool. And I wish we got that in the other version, the Masterpiece version. Because I really like, one, I like the gold. I do not like the orange on the Masterpiece. I wish it had a gold sword. But that saw blade, that's really cool.
You know, that is pretty cool. Oh, that saw blade. I love these figures. I'm usually not a fan of the stylized figures, but I really did like these. And if I had the space and the money, this would be another Legends set that I would pick up. But since I'm not a Legends collector, I'm not going to pick this up. But this.
Oh, Bobby, come on now.
This does look really good. And today I was actually having a conversation with myself, and I saw some other Legend figures, and I was like, man, these look really good. I'm not going down that hole though, but these do look really good as well. I wonder if they're going to do the gold version of the minis like they're doing the gold versions of the Masterpiece.
Would that tip you over and you'd have to buy some Legends?
No, because I'm buying the gold Masterpiece.
The Masterpiece, yeah. I have the bird dive bomb in the Legends form. I got it as a char, which is going to be part of Cryotech's game. And it's okay. But that's when they were $30. Now they're $60. $30 is perfect for that price point, honestly. It has way more paint and way more joints and everything than a Hasbro figure, so 30 is perfect. 60 is pushing it. And I love Predaking's my favorite combiner. So if these were all $30, I might be right there, sitting right next to you in that Legends collector seat. But since they're more expensive, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll have to leave you sitting in the Legends area by yourself, unfortunately.
No, you're going to get there as well.
So let's move on and to another Legends figure. And now this one is the Metagate M01 Huge Fire. And it's the Bumblebee Optimus Prime. We've talked about this in the past. Bot mode actually looks pretty good. But that alt mode is just despicable. Are you going to get it?
It's so bad you had to disappear.
I did. It was that bad. I don't understand why they would put this figure out. I mean, it doesn't look realistic at all. It's curved in the front. The truck bed looks horrible.
That bed is.
It doesn't look realistic. I mean, I know they focused on exactly. I know they focused on the bot mode, and it's probably a good choice. But at the same time, give them a Cybertronian mode then, if you're going to make something like this. That would have been better.
I don't have anything else to add to that. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this in either mode. And one thing I did notice is those smokestacks.
They must turn around.
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe it's mistransformed in vehicle mode.
Yeah, I wonder. That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe they bend in the movie. I don't remember what he looked like. They could bend in the movie, and that's how they got around it, just by having him rotate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which would be smart. But yeah, no, I don't think either of us will be getting this, even though Bobby is a Legends collector. I think this won't be getting in this collection. So moving on.
It's like an
this is the BS03 Knight Nemesis Prime. Now I'm still on the fence with this. I'm just worried about quality.
Do it.
But I don't want to get it and it crumbles.
Do it.
You know what I mean? No,
Do it.
It's expensive. So there's a lot coming out. So especially with black repaints.
Do it.
I do like this. But, we talked. It does not have a pink or red sword blade.
That's why you have paint.
I am not painting a almost $100 figure.
I mean, we know somebody who could paint it.
We do. No, I honestly, if I was to get this figure, I'd probably get like a clear pink and paint the blade lightly so it would have that shimmer of a pink shimmer. I think that would look really nice. So we'll see. I think this would be great as like a Unicron afflicted Prime that's just so old that he doesn't even look like a normal Transformer anymore. So, but that's where my mind goes, alternate dimensions.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like something that would be in my collection, so that's a good story.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how you can put him in it. It's an alternate dimension Nemesis Prime that's so degraded from the Unicron energy.
I'll just skip it.
So this is going to be coming in soon as well, which is the MP21 Masterpiece Bumblebee. Now, I've got to say this Bumblebee does look better than the new Bumblebee that came out, the newer, too accurate one. I think this looks heads and tails above it, even though it doesn't look good. I think the new one looks even worse. So if I needed a Bumblebee, I would pick this up, but Bumblebee has no place in my collection with G1 or Vapor's. If it's not $10, $15. So
yeah, I think the numbers were 21 and 45, if I'm not mistaken.
This one is 21. I don't know about the new one. I don't have that in my notes.
I think it's 45, if I'm not mistaken. I have both of them, and they both have their flaws. I think the 45, the feet were...
I was just about to say, I cannot get over that guy's feet. I called the other guy, Barricade Flipper Feet. Bumblebee is Flipper Feet as well.
Yeah.
Don't go swimming.
Yeah, so they both suffered. So I think... with Cliff Jumper coming out or Parkour coming out from Fans Toys, I know everyone's thinking that they're going to repaint it and do a Bumblebee, which would be a very welcoming sight to fans of this figure. I think they both have their pros and they both have their cons. I just don't think that like Cliff Jumper, no one got it right per se, so we're still waiting to see what that's going to look like. But the feet have definitely been a problem.
I was just about to say that I don't think we've gotten the definitive Bumblebee yet.
Yeah, but you get Spike with them.
Oh, I hate that thing. I hated that when I saw it in the movies, and I hate it now.
As a kid, I wanted that suit.
Well, yeah, if I could have the suit in real life, yes, I would want it. But as a toy, no. So let's go on to what has been recently released. And the first thing that I think you are actually interested in, I'm not joking this time, is they showed off the Guardian from Hasbro. So this has been cited in a GameStop in New York from a TFW 2005 user. So check your GameStops, people, if you are looking to pick this up. I know, Bobby, I think you're thinking about picking up 2 or 3 of these, right?
No, the price is putting me out.
Yeah, same with me.
I love the figure. The Omega Supreme, I love that figure. And, I was good with 169. I think I paid for it. 200. Just, goodness. And honestly, I'm Omega Supremed out right now. I mean, I literally have purchased 5 or 6 in the last, 45 days. So, having put in 2 pre-orders for New Age, the repaints of Omega Supreme, getting their one of them in hand already, picking up the DX9 and the Wei Jing Omega Supreme, I think I'm good. And unless the price comes down, I'm good right now.
I don't have anything else to say. The price is what's keeping me at bay. So
I do want it though. Don't get me wrong.
I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. So
I do.
We'll see if we get it on sale.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, Peanut Head Prime, or the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, was also sighted at a GameStop in Florida. So GameStop's been getting a lot of Transformers, even though around me, they have no Transformers at all, no matter how many times I go check. So, yeah, if you guys need this Prime, and I have seen some shots where it looks better than the original pictures, but I'm still completely out on this. Like, I think Hasbro took a big back step from the. They should have just upsized the one that came out in 2010, and I think it would have been a lot better.
I haven't been in the GameStop, and that's probably good because I am an impulse buyer, and so if I did see something in there that I may have said I'm out on, I may have picked it up. So I am not going to GameStop anytime soon.
Well, there's another thing that was recently released that I do think you may have gotten, and that's the KOs of Hound, Mirage, and Wheeljack. Now, did you pick these up?
Yep.
Yep, that's what I thought. So,
yep.
I mean, they look good for what they are. I mean, especially for somebody like you whose first figure was Hound, I would not open that. I'd put that on the wall just in its packaging like that. So I think they look good. I have no need for G1 figures in my collection, besides a few weird repaints here and there, as always. But for somebody like you who has connections to these figures, I think that you should pick them up.
Yeah,
especially for the price they are.
Exactly. Well, and I don't know if I've shared my backstory on this, but I had I lost all my belongings, when I was, in my early 20s. And so a big part of that was all my G1 Transformers when I was a kid, and I had quite a few of them. So the reason I don't mind buying KOs now is because it's more so for the nostalgia of having those figures again, since I had a lot of these in the first place. So I know some people are like, oh, KOs, boo, whatever. That's my reason for picking them up, is to replenish what I had lost. And so the Hound, I actually did think about keeping it in the box, James. Funny you say that, especially since I have the Walmart re-release coming out as well in that really cool box color.
And that one doesn't have a window, so you could take that one out of the box and just put that box still on the shelf.
Yes. Yes. And the Mirage, again, truth be told, as an adult collector, these look terrible in comparison to what's out now, but it is still the fact that this is what I grew up with as a kid. So it'll be great to have it, and it'll go with the rest of my G1s.
Sounds good. Well, that is everything we have for you today. So we hope you enjoyed. As always, like, share, and subscribe this video. We appreciate all of the views we've been getting. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. And thank you again for sharing some of your collections with us. Keep them coming. We are, getting our stuff together to show pretty soon. And so, as always, to all debates are won.